beautiful people. My name is Allie and welcome to WRDOHVN. If you've never been here before, WRDOHVN is a safe place for weirdos. And today I'm supposed to be back with another pick a card, specifically asking, what do you need less of in life? However, I am being called to do a completely different reading. Usually I just have everything really structured and set out, and today Spirit is telling me to go more with the flow. So I'm actually going to close my eyes, and we're going to have 6 groups today. Black Obsidian, Green Quartz, Garnet, Mahogany Obsidian, Rock Quartz, and Rose Quartz, okay? So if you haven't been here before, I like to flip a coin. If we get heads, we do things in numerical order, and if we get tails, we'll do things the weird way. So let's get into it. And, ooh, tails it is. I like where we're going. No structure today. So we're gonna start with Mahogany Obsidian. What does Spirit want you to know? Also, I hope, oh, these are falling out. I hope you guys are having a great week, okay? Because last week, you could tell my energy was like subpar, and I'm definitely feeling better this week, and I hope the same counts for you. Ooh, I like that. Okay. What do they want you to know? Let's see. First off, you can be a water sign, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. I'm definitely getting a lot of water vibes from these cards with all the blues and such. Okay, so we have Mintaken, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers, keepers of the earth, you are not alone, ancient ancestors stand behind you, and Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? Right off the bat from these 2 cards, what I'm getting, longing for home and how can you mother yourself, I'm getting that you, okay, so ready? Everyone in this card is a solo, okay? They're by themselves looking around. This lady is alone trying to like give herself her own hug, you know what I mean? And then when it says you're not alone, ancient ancestors stand behind you. You know, you have your spirit guides, you have maybe your pets that you always kind of lean on or, you know, speak with. There's also like a dog or like a wolf right here. We have a bird, you know, an elephant, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm definitely getting that you're more of a loner. You kind of stick to yourself and you do your own thing. You've always wanted a home, somewhere you can feel safe, somewhere when you come home, someone's waiting for you. That is why you really like your pet. Your pet's always really excited to see you. I don't think you have a fish. I mean, you could have multiple animals, but I don't think you have, a fish or anything like that. You have something like a cat or a dog, like something you can cuddle and you can feel love from and warmth from, you know what I mean? I feel as though you definitely have some childhood trauma or like mother energy that you can heal from at this time. It's a good time for you to reflect since you don't have a lot of distractions in your life. You don't have, you know, like other people constantly vying for your attention or a job that you fall too much into. At least I don't see that right now. That could be a distraction for some of you, using work, you know, alcohol, TV, Netflix, anything like that to kind of distract yourself from how you're feeling. In general, though, pile 1, what Spirit wants you to know is that you will find that home. You'll find that place that you belong. You'll find that those people that when you're not there, they will notice it, okay? I feel like for some of you, you guys just didn't have that connection you wanted with your parents where they noticed when you're not there or when something was missing, or if your face changed, they noticed you were sad, you know what I mean? They didn't pay as much attention to you, which is why you've always felt like you never really belonged in life. You could also be the middle child for some people, because this definitely has like middle child syndrome written over it. But let's keep going, okay? Because what exactly do they want you to know more in depth about this? Besides that, now is a great time to look into your past and to heal from some things. And also keep in mind that you're not alone. Even though you haven't found your people yet, or even though you don't feel like you fit in with your family, there will be those people out there that make you feel like their blood family. You know what I mean? For you, friends are the family you choose. You know what I mean? So you will find your people if you haven't already. They're definitely coming. But let's keep going. What does Spirit want you to know, Pile 1? For those who chose Pile 1, what does Spirit want you to know? For those who choose Pile 1, what does Spirit want you to know? Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Way more than I thought it'd be, but I will take them all. Okay, so we have... Okay, so we have air, breathing deep, entering into life, exchange of life-bringing energies. We have farewell to the moon, appreciate and enjoy the lunar light and cycles, and guide, a guide, mentor, or trustworthy ally. Okay, so what is coming your way? You're going to find new people. Okay, so, you know, you feel like you're alone. You feel like no one gets you. You feel like you don't have a sense of belonging, but someone is coming. A guide is coming, a trustworthy ally. They're going to introduce you to other people that are like you and other people who are into the things that you are into. So you're not going to feel so alone anymore because you're going to have this person that you can just like, you know, tell your secrets to and be giddy about and be happy for. And you're like, oh my God, there's someone in my life I can look forward to who like wants me around and I don't feel like a burden in their life. This again brings me back to this mother card for some of you people. I feel as though your parents made you feel like a burden in life. For some of you, you even grew up with your grandparents. And even though your grandparents are more than happy to take care of you and be there for you, you kind of felt like a burden. Like, technically, I'm not your kid. I am your grandchild. And I know you guys are old and you have to raise me because where is my mom? She's absent. You know what I mean? And even when your mom was around, you still kind of always felt like, oh, here I go, needing her, wanting something from her. Even though that's your mom, you know, that's her job. But I feel like a lot of those childhood wounds are kind of influencing your current reality. So that is something you definitely want to work on. When you feel those situations or those times or those moments, you know, just kind of affirm to yourself, like, I'm not a burden. I'm worthy of love. People enjoy my company. Things of those natures until you finally believe it. Trust and believe. This one hits home for me, Pile 1. I've definitely felt like a burden in life with friends, things like that. I felt like I had to prove my worth or that I'm worthy of love to these people. So I would do like acts of service or things like that because I would do that in my head for my mom. I'm like, oh, I have to do these things. I have to do these things. I have to live life the way she wants me to live it, to be recognized from her, to feel appreciated by her, to feel loved by her. You know what I mean? So I get that you almost feel like you're at a disadvantage when it comes to interacting with people to some degree because you're like, well, I've had such a hard life in my family dynamic. I don't understand if like my family couldn't accept me, how will other people accept me? You know what I mean? But sometimes, especially in families, siblings, things like that, we're so close to home that we don't see. Like, okay, sometimes people are so used to a good thing, which is you, they don't see how great you are. So in your family, you may really be like, you know, quieted down or shushed down or you're not allowed to express yourself. But then in your group of friends, you're a whole different type of person. And that type of person is the person you need to let out of its shell. And that's the person you need to be that's the person you need to allow yourself to be when around other people. Because we also have this card, breathing deep, entering into life, exchanging of life-bringing energies. You're going to have this exchange with people. Okay, with the person that comes to your life, these allies, these friendships that are making their way towards you, they are going to almost like, say you were drowning, okay? You were drowning in this mindset of how life is supposed to go, and they're going to come and they're going to breathe new life into you, and they're going to make you not feel so alone, and they're going to make you feel more balanced, okay? Because now you'll have a new perspective. You'll have a new way of looking at things. Okay, so you know how the moon has its phases, has its cycles. So it's like a full moon and a new moon and a half moon and a gibbous moon and all these types of moons. I don't know. Science was so long ago, I don't really remember astronomy. Whomever. Anyway, that was just a part of life. That was one part of the cycle. So one of your cycles, childhood, was for you to be alone, to feel on the outskirts, to be like the outside looking in kind of vibe. But now you're entering a new phase and a new cycle where you have people who see you for who you are, and you have people who notice you and who are, what's the word I'm looking for? Are patient with you and are just like none of the things you experienced in your home life. So it's going to be new. And for some of you, I feel like a little nervousness building up. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm so used to being a wallflower. Like I don't even know what I'd be like. You know what I mean? If you were allowed to be expressive, if you weren't hushed down or quieted down, or if you didn't have all these fears lingering, you know, what would that look like? And these people who are coming into your life are going to help bring you out of that shell and make you see that for what it really is. So like, even though you feel so defined by the person you have been all this time, you're like, well, I see myself as a loner. I see myself as a wallflower. I see myself as a late bloomer, a quiet person, you know, all these kinds of things. The box your family put you in is now the box that you are keeping yourself in. You know what I mean? So if you don't allow yourself to escape, release, break that shell, if you don't allow yourself to get out and move forward, you are going to be pigeonholed into this mindset, into this way that your family kind of put you in, or you kind of felt like you forced yourself in to survive in life. But just know you're not in survival mode anymore. You're grown now for some of you. For most of you watching this, okay? You are older now. You have more under your belt, and you're going to have even more people like mentoring you and coming into your life and showing you a new way. Abundance is coming towards you, okay? Abundance in friends and good times and laughs, all coming your way. So just be mindful. Be ready to take the chance when it comes, okay? So if someone comes up to you, you're wearing a graphic tee of something obscure that a lot of people don't know about, or like a TV show that a lot of people don't know, or a musician or something like that, and someone comes up to you and they're like, oh my God, look at your shirt. I can't believe anybody else knew them. I love that group, band, TV show, character, whatever, so much. And you're like, oh, thanks. And then you go back to being your quiet self and you kind of ignore them. They were almost like extending an olive branch. Like that was their way to find common ground. You know what I mean? And you also have to be willing to let somebody in. So if you are, you know, longing to belong and you find someone who has a similar interest as you, take that as an initiative to keep going, to keep communicating. Like, oh my God, yeah, I love this show. Did you know they're going to have a new episode, blah, blah, blah. Or, oh, let me get your number. I can like send you the link for new ones, or you should check out this, or, you know, use that as an invitation to spark a conversation or to hang out in the future. Because if you are this wallflower person that the energy I'm picking up on, and it is hard for you to communicate with others, or many people don't communicate with you, and then this person, this guide I'm mentioning is coming towards you, allow them in, okay? Because if you don't allow someone in, you're going to continue to feel like the outside looking in. If you don't share your story, share your voice, share your interests, share yourself, express who you are, when will someone find the in? You know what I mean? Let's keep going. So for those of you who chose pile 1, what do they need to know? What does pile 1 need to know? Don't worry, that card doesn't actually mean death. That's it? Okay, great, thank you. Okay, it says death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. Okay, what I get from this is exactly what I said. You are being reborn. You're going through sort of a metamorphosis, a transformation, okay? The person you were, the person you had to be in your family to survive, that person is no more, okay? If you want to keep that person around now, that's your choice. You cannot blame your mother or your parents or whoever for putting you in that situation, because now it's a personality trait, or it's a situation you are choosing. But if you choose to bring death to who you were, to allow your true self to shine, okay, then you can have these people in your life, this energy in your life, this change of a cycle, okay? But you can't have a new cycle. You can't start the beginning if you don't have the ending. Does that make sense? So this transformation is coming, but you need to allow it to change you. You need to allow yourself to see a new side of things. Maybe typically you look at a group of people and you're like, oh my God, that's so intimidating. I have never belonged in a group, so they just won't like me. And then you reject yourself before someone else has a chance to reject you. But that is your old self. That is your survival instincts from when you were in high school, or when you were growing up with your family, or when you were interacting with your siblings, okay? But you have a clean slate now. These people don't know who you are. They don't know your traumas, your insecurities, your fears. You know what I mean? They don't know anything about you. So now is the perfect time as any to start anew, you know? And I'm not saying to throw your old self away. I'm not saying there was something wrong with that person or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that if you do want to belong, okay, and you want to find your people, and you want to not feel so alone, you want to talk to somebody else besides your pet, this is the way to do it. Break out that shell. Start something new. Put yourself out there. Do something you would never have done before, because now you're different. Whew. What else? What else? What does pile one need to know? Spirits, what are you trying to tell pile one? Let go of the need to be right. What does pile one need to know? Thank you. Okay, so we have let go of the need to be right and see beyond the current situation. So, okay, so what I get from the current situation is that you're watching this video, you're getting a little bit of anxiety. You're like, I don't know how to see beyond the current situation because all I ever seen was rejection and, haters and just like a poor family dynamic. And you're like, if I could not, you don't understand, Allie, if I could not make it work with family, the people who are born to be with you, how am I going to make it work with these strangers? I know, I get it. Okay. First of all, let go of the need to be right. Find peace. Okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can't wrap your intellect around it. You can't wrap your mind around it. Okay. Because you're not alone in this situation. Ancient ancestors stand behind you. This is an intuitive situation where you just know and you just trust me that somehow things will get better. And you're like, girl, I believe you. I do, but I don't see it. And that's fine. You don't have to see. Okay, see beyond the current situation. You don't have to see. Her eyes aren't even in the photograph. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. You just need to know what you need to do about it, which is let go of the need to be right. It doesn't matter who did or didn't like you in your past. It doesn't matter what you've been through, what you went through, what you are going through right now. This is what is going to happen. You are going to put an end to your ways, the ways that keep you on the sideline and out of the party, and the ways that make you believe certain things aren't for you. Oh my God, I can't wear that. I'm not that type of girl. Oh my God, I can't do that. I'm not that type of boy. Oh my God, I can't play that. I can't look at that. I can't, whatever. My mother told me that good girls do this, this, this. My mother told me that only young gentlemen can behave in this, this, this way. Okay, you're putting a death to anything that no longer serves you, anything that doesn't fit with who you are, with what lines up with you, and any of that sort of thing. Okay, and even if you don't know, like maybe you're like, oh, I don't agree with my mom when she said this, 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 and maybe you don't have a new answer as to what. Maybe you don't have a new fairy to replace the one that she doesn't approve of. For example, say your mom's like, oh my God, you're not allowed to take a rest day. You always have to work, work, work. And you know deep in your heart that's not true. But you don't know why it's not true, or you don't know what to replace it with. You just know it doesn't line up with how you feel about life. And there's going to be someone who comes into your life and breathe that life energy in you. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're not alone. I completely agree with you. I don't think we should have to work, work, work all the time and never take a break. That doesn't make sense at all to me. Okay? So you're bringing death. You are putting an end to what doesn't fit in your life. Okay, fourth house roots. Family, home, background, comfort, inner world, shelter, self-care, habits. Yeah, you're putting a death to your old habits, your self-care. You're dismantling all of that. I mean, not your self-care, sorry. Your comforts. You're dismantling all of that. Your inner world, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about others, how you interact with other people. All of that is being rejuvenated, rewritten, tried again. So yes, basically what you need to know, Pia 1. You need to take a trip down memory lane, okay? And look at the things that happened to you and think about the things that don't fit it with who you are anymore, okay? Make sure your fears aren't overclouding your good judgment, because that does happen to the best of us. So definitely look back at your roots and your ancestors, and see what you can change. See what doesn't have to be anymore. You know, maybe okay, so back in the day, you know, they were like, oh, women can only be like the cooks of the house and you have to take care of the kids and, you know, things like that. And maybe you were raised all your life to think the same. You have to take care of your family and you have to put them first and things like that. And now that you're older, you're like, I don't believe that to be true. And I may not know what's actually right or wrong in this situation, but I know that that doesn't fit with who I am. And because you were always the type of person who was like, I'm not going to be in the kitchen cooking. It's not the place for me. You always kind of felt alone because all the other women in your family would be like, but that's where you belong. I don't understand. And you're going to find these people who agree with you, okay? Who are like, yeah, the women's place is not in the kitchen like that. You got me messed up. That don't have nothing to do with me. And to find people who are so similar to you almost seems unreal because you have been alone for so long and you're like, I can't see beyond being by myself, only having myself to rely on and depend on. I can't imagine having someone else who is in a similar situation as me, who believes the things that I believe, who wants what's best for me, you know what I mean? And this was just a cycle you had to go through. A lot of us had to go through some crazy childhood or some drama or things we had to unlearn so that, one, we know other people have gone through this ourselves so that we know how to help them in the future. Because you also got the original light workers at the end of here. Light workers are all about the people who are spreading light in life. So a lot of us go through crazy, unimaginable childhoods and traumas and things like that so that we know how to help other people who've been in the same situation we have. So I feel as though your people are going to be people who've been through similar situations, similar mom dramas, similar parental traumas and things of those natures, because it was just one of those cycles, one of those childhood things, one of those things we needed to grow out of. And even though you don't have all the answers or you don't know why you went through this or some of the ideologies you grew up with, you still don't know why, you know, it's just a lot of why with you. But let go of the need to be right. It doesn't matter what had happened. It matters what you are currently doing now about it, which is finding your peace and finding your people. So let's see. A little helpful advice for pile 1. Can we get advice for pile 1? Okay. Okay, for pile one, your first advice is gratitude fuels my inspiration. So even though you may have had a crappy childhood or some mama drama, or you kind of felt isolated in life, think of all the things you had time to be grateful for. Um, you're like, oh, I didn't have many friends, but I had time to hone in my craft, or I had time to focus on myself, or do these things, or maybe my mom wasn't always in the picture, but instead I had like so much time to spend with my grandparents before it was too late, or just things of those natures. Oh, my mom was never around, but at least I had room to myself, and I had food in my fridge, and all that kind of things. Don't only dwell on the bad parts that you remember. And the second, we have, as I release the past, I awaken to possibility and allow my true essence to be revealed. This is exactly what I've been talking about. As you release the past, as you release that burden feeling, that loner feeling, that mama drama, that family issues, that sibling dynamic, all of those things, as you release the past of who you had to be to survive, and you awaken to the possibility that there's other people out there like you, the possibility that you won't feel like a burden to everybody else, the possibility that good things will come from this ending, okay? And you allow your true essence, who you really are supposed to be, not the person you think you're supposed to be, not the person your parents told you you're supposed to be, not the person that society wants you to be, your true self to be revealed. So as I release the past, as I release who I was, as I have an ending unto what I was, as I move past that cycle, I awaken to the possibility and allow my true essence to be revealed. My true essence, who I really am, who I'm meant to be in this life, okay? Let yourself be expressive and exaggerative and dramatic if need be. Let your hair be unruly. Let your socks be mismatched, all these things that you felt like you had to do, you don't. So allow them to move past you and be grateful for everything you've seen and experienced thus far, okay? Thank you so much for watching pile one. If anything resonated with you, please comment down below and let me know. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and if you need a private reading, I'll have all the information listed down below in the description bar. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Okay. For those of you who chose rose quartz, what's the spirit want you to know? For those who chose rose quartz, what does spirit want you to know? What does spirit want you to know? For those who chose rose quartz. Oh, okay. That is a lot of cards. Pile one only got 3 cards, I believe. Okay. I want to make sure you see them all. Okay, so we have the crumbling. What are you clinging onto? Leap, you go first. The universe will catch you. Boundaries, where do you need to establish better boundaries? Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration, take a break, a life's work, not a season, get off the treadmill. Okay. Right off the bat, what I'm getting from this is you can be an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. The crumbling. What are you clinging on to? What spirit wants you to know? There is something that you need to, this is basically the Tower card in Modern Tarot. So there's something that needs to break down to be built back up better. What I'm getting though is this is you. This represents you, okay? For some of you, even you could be a water sign, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. So I'm definitely getting like you put out this particular exterior, or like the way people perceive you is very like dark and moody and mysterious and scary and intimidating to some people. And in the inside, you're really like ooey gooey brightness and love. But on the outside, you have like this darkness that you, what's the word I'm looking for? You like put out there. And you do it as a defense mechanism. You're like, well, if people don't want to handle my moodiness, they don't get the ooey gooey center, which is understandable in certain situations, but I feel like you're blocking yourself off from a lot of potential because of this. Because imagine if it was the other way around. If you looked at someone and you saw them being all moody and down and depressive, you're going to be like, oh, I don't even want to deal with that drama. You know what I mean? So it's not that. I feel like you're almost testing people. Like if you could get past level 1, you can get to level 40. But a lot of people don't want to go through that struggle. And we're going to keep going. I'm not telling you to change for people, but you're going to get the full story. So it says leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. What I'm getting from this is that if you take the chance, you know, if you leap away from these spiky rocks and stuff and whatnot, you know, this is like spiky rocks. If you leap past this, you know, into this, you're kind of like, girl, what? Okay, spirit wants you to be more open. Spirit wants you to be more, not bubbly if that's not in your character, but they just want you to be more willing to show people who you truly are. And you're kind of like, oh, well, I use this tower, I use this dark facade as a defense mechanism because I don't want people to take advantage of me and do all the things that they've done to me in the past. Okay, but the people you're interacting with now are not the people from your past. So you're almost like pushing away a good thing before it had the time to develop because of this outer exterior. So the way you can still have this dark exterior, so to speak, is with boundaries, okay? You can still be your amazing wholehearted self and just put up boundaries, and your boundaries will be the equivalence of having this wall up without having the wall up. Do you know what I mean? So basically, okay, you're like this moody person, but in the inside, you're like bubbly and fun. And then the universe is telling you if you just take a leap towards being more bubbly and fun in the open and instead put up boundaries against those lines you don't want people to cross, you'll find this integration, okay, this new way of being between hard and soft, between you know, that firm exterior and that plushy interior. And you can take a break. A life's work, not a season to get off the treadmill. So a lot of this is very new. You know what I mean? And it's not something you're going to get so easily because it's hard to take this wall down. I know. Believe me, I know. I used to be like, okay, for me, because I feel like this story fits you. That's why I'm telling it. So when I was younger, I was super nice, you know. I was a little kid, didn't have my drama and tension and all this stuff guiding me. I was just this little rainbow of sunshine. Then these mean kids came and bullied me and harassed me, and then I shut my doors out. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize people were evil. Shit. Let me not have my ooey gooey niceness just out in the open for people to take advantage of me. You know what I mean? Let me have this hard exterior so they be, you know, so they'll think twice before messing with me. So I had this cold exterior to anyone I interacted with. Sometimes I found that ooey gooiness, but I didn't know how to turn it off at this point because I was just so used to being hardcore and like, ooh, and mean and like no one's gonna take advantage of me again. You guys will learn, you know? And I just became, I wasn't a bully, but I just became very mean myself to the point where I didn't even know this person was still in there because I had pushed it so deep down, you know, beneath the surface. But then eventually one day I took a leap and I was like, okay, the people who had never done anything to me does not deserve this person. 1. 2, I'm starting to forget how amazing I am because I'm filled with this darkness and this walls and trying not to let people in, you know what I mean? So I had to take a leap and I had to let myself remember the light that I carried inside of me and let myself shine, you know? And I found boundaries. So I found another way to keep people at a distance if necessary. And instead started, you know, putting walls up that were also retractable, you know what I mean? So when I did announce my boundaries to some people, the people who weren't with it, weren't ready to respect what I had to say or do or the way I carried myself, they realized to just, trickle away. And the people who did respect my boundaries still made it to the next level, so to speak. Okay. So this, instead of being just a door that always stayed closed, this was more like an elevator door. And if you found the right button, ping, it will pop right open. So that's how it initially started. Okay. A life's work, not a session. I started inching the doors open, they went from a cement wall to elevator doors to I'm a glass house now, okay? Anyone can come in and chat it up with me and find some ooey gooey richness, you know what I mean? They're not just going to get hit with a wall in their face. But I do have those boundaries that help, that help me keep people at arm's length if necessary and help bring people in towards me if necessary. It was just about building those better boundaries. And then with this awakening card, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration, you are going to learn the balance between that hard exterior and that soft interior. And it's not going to all happen at once, but it's something that you do definitely need to start doing so that you can stop pushing so many people away. Yeah, let's keep going. But this is what I have so far. So for those of you who chose pile 2, rose quartz, what does Spirit want you to know? Okay. Spirit wants you to know freedom, independence, self-determination, and yearning, longing for someone, undesired separation, pining. Okay, yeah, definitely. Let's start with this yearning card first, because what I get is that longing for someone, undesired separation. You have an undesired separation between you and yourself. You're longing for someone, you're longing for who you used to be, okay? There's a part of you that would see the light in the day, would see the joy in the drama, would see, the rainbow after the rain type of situation. And you've lost that. Keeping up this hard exterior, pretending you don't care, pretending you're not interested. Nothing hurts you, nothing affects you. All of this facade that you've been putting up to not get hurt has actually been hurting you in return, okay? So in order to keep people at arm's length, you have also been keeping yourself at arm's length. And you haven't really been in touch with who you are in a while. So you are yearning definitely to get back in touch with your connection, your essence, your energy, so many things light you up. So many things make you smile and you pretend that they have no effect on you. Some people are like, oh my God, look at this cute little puppy. Oh my God, it's so cute. And you're like, ew, why are you using that baby voice? Like, it's just a pet. It's really not that serious. But in secret, you like that pet, or you too talk with a baby voice when you see something super adorable, cute, but you don't want people to see you that way. You don't want people to know your vulnerabilities almost, okay? And then with the freedom card, independence, self-determination, your true nature, your true self wants to be free, okay? Because right here, you're in the dark. Okay, with the crumbling too, this tower, you're in the dark. You're yearning for something more, and you can't really see anything else besides what you've been in. But what you're yearning for is this freedom, this light, this inner temple, okay? This inner you, this free you, this independent you that is like, yeah, I like that thing, and yeah, I enjoy rom-coms. I do like romantic movies. I secretly am, rooting for the underdog in a certain situation or whatever the case may be. But the point is, you don't want to lie to yourself or others anymore. Your true nature, your true essence wants to be free. For some of you also, say you're like, you're in a clique that's like, you guys listen to like Blink 182 and Avril Lavigne and Evanescence and, that kind of like, there's a name for it. Please comment down below and let me know what the name is, because I can't think of it. Like a alt group. I don't know. I honestly can't even think of it. But fringe, those like punk rock bangs and all that kind of jazz. Yeah. So you're into like that stuff, but secretly you like unicorns and glitter and all that kind of things. That's different from the clique that you associate with. So your true essence just wants to be out there. Like, yeah, I like Fall Out Boy and I like Ariana Grande, and I am honoring my integration, and I'm finding a new way of being where I can be all of myself, which is a little bit of everything, and this is the life I'm choosing to live. Yes, let's keep going, because you know me, I be feeling like I'm rambling sometimes. And I know you get it, but like, yeah, we'll just keep going. I chimed in with, haven't you people ever heard of closing the goddamn door? Now it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poise and rationality. I chimed in. Yeah, so I feel like you're trying to close the damn door, and they're like, hey, have some rationality, have some integration, have some balance. You could be anything you want to be, okay? You can look like this on the outside, and then you could be listening to Baby Shark on the inside. Like, don't let your appearance of who you think you're supposed to be prevent you from who you could be, who you could really be, Okay, let's keep going. For those of you who chose Pile 2, what does Spirit want you to know? No, I don't like these. What does Spirit want you to know? Oh, Spirit wants you to know a lot. Okay. Spirit wants you to know, intend and create, High Priest. Ooh. Okay. Bask in joy and light. Oh. Retreat and recharge. And feel love and comforted. Okay, yeah. So definitely these go hand in hand. Retreat and recharge, take a break, life's work, not a season. So this is going to be a lot for you, okay? I'm not telling you that digging into your chest of pain or vulnerability is going to be an easy task. It's not. It's going to take steps. It's going to take time. You might want to even have a to-do list like, oh, okay, first I'm going to work on just being honest about my emotion in the moment. Second, I'm going to work on integrating a new thing that people don't really know about me out loud. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ways you can do it. For some of you, you can even be an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And then it says bask in joy and light, okay? Enjoy your light. Enjoy your niceness, your kindness, your brightness, your energy, your exuberance, whatever is that thing that you've been hiding away, okay? Bask in it and revel in it and just enjoy the freedom of living a life the way you want to live it. With High Priest, intend and create, what I get from this is with the leap card, okay? Intend and create in the sense that if you can believe it, it can be true. If you want to show yourself and be expressive, if you have the intention to do it, also create it. Don't just say you're going to do it, think about it, and never take the leap, okay? You have to initiate it. You have to be the change you want to see. And then lastly, feel loved and comforted. I know putting yourself out there is going to be a challenge because the last time you did this is when you were bullied or ridiculed or laughed at. Oh, look at you crying about the planet because the planet's dying. Haha, you're such a wimp, you're such a baby, blur, blur, blur. You know what I mean? And you need to appreciate your sensitivity and your vulnerability and your glow and your essence and your light, okay? There's so much darkness in the world. Be a candle. Be the light for someone else. Be the lighthouse. Feel loved and comforted. I know it's hard because you're so used to being against yourself and telling yourself there's something wrong with the way you act or the way you behave or the way you put yourself out there, but there's not. That was just the mindset you were telling yourself. That was just fear because you didn't want to be hurt again. But you're in a different situation where yeah, sure, you may be hurt. People hurt us. It happens. It's part of life. But you need to feel love and comfort enough in yourself that even if someone hurts you, you won't throw who you are away. Someone hurt you and that sucks and it's hard to get over, but you're going to take a break and you're going to take the time to recharge, but you're still going to be who you are. And you're still going to put your whole self out there. I'm sorry if you hear people in the background, my brother and his friends. Let's continue. For those who chose pile 2, what does Spirit want them to know? What does Spirit want the rose quartz people to know? Oh, thanks. Self-esteem, exactly. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Your sensitivity benefits you. The fact that you can integrate who you are and who you want to be, the fact that you can integrate your dark and your light side together, okay, that's a balance. That's a gift, okay? Your self-esteem is not dependent on other people, how they treat you, what they can see in you. Your self-esteem needs to be based on yourself. You need to feel loved and comforted in who you are, regardless of the opinions or the experience with other people. Let's get a few more cards and I will bid you adieu, okay? So for pile 2, what does Spirit want you to know? Oh, they're so loud. I'm so sorry. What does Spirit want you to know? Okay, exactly. Cancer. Cancer is all about feelings and being protective and being tender and defensive and moody. So yeah, this is you. You could be a Cancer or a water sign, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. I've been said Scorpio though. I've been said water signs, but that's not the point. Okay. So you could have this really soft feeling, caring, middle, and someone was like, oh my God, you care too much, and you felt like you had to close that part of you. But being a person who can feel, being caring, a lot of people don't interact with this type of person. This person is so needed in life because there's so much darkness, okay? People are swimming in the darkness. Rarely do we find good, wholehearted, authentic light where they just care about you and how you're feeling and how you're doing. So make sure you check in with yourself and get back to checking in with others, because I feel like that's something you would do before someone stole your shine away. So for those of you who chose rose quartz, what is the advice for the people who chose rose quartz? That's one. Can we get another? Thank you. Okay. I'm expanding past my comfort zone into greater possibility. Exactly. This is your comfort zone. This wall, okay, is your comfort zone. And you need to get back into your light, into your essence, into your expansion, okay? I'm expanding past my comfort zone into greater possibility. You're leaving this behind because you are missing you. You are missing everything. You're like a lamp that's not plugged in. And you're like, oh my God, I know I could be used for more and I could be used for better. Like, what's wrong with me? And you're just not plugged into who you really are. I honor all my needs and fears and my desires. Exactly. All your needs, all your fears, all your desires. You have a fear. My fear is that people will take advantage of me like they used to when I was a kid. My desire is to be connected into who I used to be. And my needs are that I need to find myself again and find my independence so that I can feel free. And I don't have to feel like I'm wearing this mask. And it all starts when you are willing to take that leap. Okay, so this is what I have for you, pile 2, rose quartz. Thank you so much for watching. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, which means if it did not fit, it ain't shit. And therefore you do have 2 options. 1, of course, feel free to pick another pile. Or 2, feel free to DM me for a private reading, and I'll have all that information listed down below in the description bar. If anything resonated with you, please comment down below. Let me know. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye! So for those of you who chose pile 3, black obsidian, what does Spirit want you to know? What does Spirit want you to know? For those who choose black obsidian, thank you. Okay, what does Spirit want you to know? We have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future, trust your path. If you knew you'd be supported, what would you do? Share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. Okay, I already got a message, so hopefully it applies to everyone. If not, of course, I'm pulling more cards and we will unveil as we go. So, when it comes to break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future, what I get right away is that you have a okay, so okay, I'm seeing it two ways, but they both go hand in hand. So for some of you, you guys have a past where your family was very spiritual, but I mean spiritual, excuse me. Your family was very religious, but you were very spiritual. So there's generations you have of going to the same church, learning Bible studies, learning the same kind of ideology that your family has like bestowed on you. It's almost like an inherited mindset, you know what I mean? And you though, you're very spiritual, you're very into the occult, you're very into tarot cards and into astrology and zodiacs and things like that. So you have to heal from, and you have to rewrite your future, because even though this is something that worked for them, this is not something that's going to work for you. It's not going to be something that brings you happiness if you follow down the same path as them. If it's not religion, it's anything of the sort. Maybe you're from a family of doctors, but you want to be an artist, something different. Maybe you're from a family of hippies and you are into science. It depends, find where it fits your story. For the other part of you that's not into religion, what I got is that you're raised like you have to grow up and find a husband and have children. That's your goal in life. And everyone in your family kind of believe that too. But now you're at this point where you're like, I don't even want a husband or to be married. I just want freedom and independence. I want to do my own thing, which is completely okay. It's your life. But you need to heal from this, because I feel almost as though if you break the chain, you feel as though you're disappointing your family, you're disappointing your lineage, you're disappointing your family. You're the first one of generations who doesn't want to name their child Marcus Lamentor the Eighth. You know what I mean? You're like, I want my kid to have their own name and their own identity, and your family is freaking out. But you need to rewrite the future. You need to heal from that. You need to be like, you know what? This is my life, and I appreciate everything that my family did to get me to this point, and I forgive them and forgive myself for wanting something different, but I don't want that in my life, and you have to rewrite your future. And then it comes here and it says, trust your path. If you knew you'd be supported, what would you do? If you knew you'd be supported by your family or, your friends or life, you would be that doctor instead of those artists. You would be that scientist instead of those hippies. You would choose freedom instead of marriage. There's so many paths that you can fall down, and you're just like, I just want someone to have my back, and I just want to know if I do these things, people won't hate me forever. And it's hard to disappoint our family, and it's hard to want something different for ourselves, and it's hard to take control over our own lives. We feel like we're not allowed, or we need a permission slip or anything like that, but you don't. You are supported. I support you in anything that'll make you happier. 1. 2, spirit completely supports you. And 3, if the people aren't there now, there will come people in your life that will believe in you and support you too. And I'm sorry you can't find the recognition or the support you're looking for in your family, because I know how hard that is when you want something and it doesn't line up with what you want. And then it says, share your voice, come out the cave, persecution, expression. For some of you, I feel like you haven't even gotten to the point where you've told your family what you want. But now is the time, okay? So some of you are like, oh my gosh, I don't have any support to share my truth. I can't share my truth because my family will kill me. My family will disown me. My family will hate me. And for some of you, I'm sorry to say, that is the case, You tell your family you're gay and they don't accept you. Having such a religious background, they can't see what you mean. And it's not that they hate you, and it's not that they don't love you. It's that they don't understand. They've had years and years of this mentality in their head. Sometimes they're like, oh, well, my grandparents, that's just their way. Because things were different back in the day. And it's not that they don't want to believe you. It's not that they don't want to love you or support you or trust you. They can't wrap their head around the logic, and they can't see anything else but the logic. They're like, well, if the logic isn't there, how am I supposed to believe it? It's a different mindset. It's a different time. I'm not saying it's okay or not. That's not the point. It comes down to this point. Do you want to live this life for you or for them? If you do not share your truth now, In 10 years, if you are doing the thing that they want you to do, are you going to resent yourself? Are you going to resent your family? Who is going to be on the end of the shit stick, basically? Okay. Because the longer you wait to live your truth and share your voice and express yourself, the longer you will feel miserable. Okay. So I know, sorry. So I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy at all. What I'm saying is, though, trust yourself, support yourself, come out of the cave, share your truth, express yourself, okay? And if your family doesn't get it, I don't know. My thing is, I'm so ready to walk away from family if they don't support me, if they're not there for me, if they don't get it. Because I've been in this cave for years, okay? I let kids from school put me in this cave. I let people steal my shine. I stayed quiet. I did the things my family wanted me to do. I was that good girl, okay? And at the end of it, what did I get? I got a life that I felt like wasn't mine, and I got family I barely talked to. So, yeah, cool. We're all on great terms. I've done everything they wanted me to do in life, and they still find something to complain about. That's what family does, okay? So you're not always going to live up to their vision of what they want for your life. And think about it. You've spent the past 20 years, the past 10 years, the past 50 years doing what your family has want you to do, and you haven't found support from them. You haven't expressed your truth from them. You felt dishonest. If anything, you felt like there was this wedge between you and your family that they never noticed, but yet something has never been completely comfortable with you. And that's because you never shared your truth. 1, 2, 3, whatever number I am on. If you don't give them the opportunity, okay, because right now you're sheltering them from your truth. You think they won't accept you. You think you'll be rejected. You think you'll be kicked out of your family, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, that's all your imagination, and that's all your in your fear. And what you need to ask yourself is, what happens if your worst fear came true? What if you told your family the truth and they did kick you out of your family? They did disown you. They did do this, that, and the third. Could you live with yourself after? Because you would finally be able to live your truth and walk your path. You know what I mean? Or is your family so important to you that you're willing to scrap your own happiness for their acceptance? Would you rather accept yourself, or would you have other people accept you? Is really what it comes down to. Because family, yeah, sure, they're great, but at the end of the day, when you take them off the pedestal, they're just people. They're just people who we have chosen to be in our life. I know that kind of sounded kind of rude, I guess. But I don't mean to put you in a position where you feel like you have to choose between your honesty and your family and anything like that, because from what I'm reading, you're already in that position. What I am trying to do is just to get you to see that. Okay. Last example, and then we're pulling more cards. So think about Bruce Jenner. He waited all of that time in life to say that he actually wanted to be a female, that he felt more comfortable being a female, and that was living his truth. And he thought his family would disown him. And sure, maybe some family members who aren't on the TV did disown him. But the Kardashians, as long as TV's sake goes, I mean, I don't watch the show, but they were still with him. They still ended up supporting him. They just wanted him to be his happiest. And if that's the result when you tell your family, oh my gosh, Rebecca, you just do whatever makes you happiest, honestly, and that'll make us happy. That is the reaction you want. Anything else is manipulation. The end. We're moving on. Sorry if, like I said, if that sounded rude, I do apologize. That's not my intention. I just really want to get my point across, which is that everyone is going to have an opinion on your life, and at the end of the day, it's up to you. Because I don't want you to look back and be like, oh my God, I hate my family, or oh my God, it's all my family's fault because they never let me, be myself, or they never let me express myself. It's not your family's fault. It's your fault for allowing yourself to be in that position. It's your fault for never telling yourself the truth and giving them the chance to, in return, tell you their truth and how they feel about the situation. But anyway, for those of you who chose pile 3, Black Obsidian, what does Spirit want you to know? What does Spirit want you to know for those who choose Black Obsidian? What does Spirit want you to know? Okay, thanks. Okay. We have sanctuary, privacy, inviolate personal space, respected boundaries, and taboos. We have conchomancy, seashell divination, wisdom of shells, and we have dreams, vivid dreaming, dream messages, dream teaching. Okay, so this is basically the cards we just got right here. Okay, so basically, breaking the chain, ancestral patterns, wisdom of shells, the wisdom of your past, the wisdom of your lineage, okay, being passed down to you. Is what I'm getting. So this again represents like your family, your past, the wisdom of everything culminated to this point. You know what I mean? It took your grandparents and your parents and your upbringing, all of this to bring you to the wise person that you are today. With dreams, vivid dreaming, dream messages, dream teaching. Maybe you've been getting more dreams about your truth, about what it would be like to live a life where you're out in the open and you're telling people about this thing you're trying to hide, and what would it look like if oh my gosh, there's so many things. There's just so many things. I always want to use a gay example because I'm gay, but let's do it. Always down for more representation. Okay, so say in your dreams, you're dreaming what it would be like if you dated a girl and you two are a girl, or you dated someone for the same sex, or you have no sex and you dated someone of no sex. You know what I mean? And you're having this dream and you're having these vivid dreams of how amazing it would be. And you wake up and you're like, it was just a dream. It's not real. But in my dream, it felt so real. It felt so great to just be out in the open and holding their hand and, doing all this stuff. And I don't have to be in secrecy and blah, blah, blah. And then with sanctuary, it says respected boundaries and taboos. So what I get from this is that when you do share your voice, you just have to get your family to respect your boundaries. And if they don't, they're not the person who should be in your life, because they're not someone supporting your path. They're not supporting your dreams. So even though they have this, well of knowledge that's been passed down to them over time and throughout the years and things like that, and even though you have this well of knowledge that may have started from their wisdom, but then has grown on, into your own and done your own thing. I feel like this maybe not be coming across correctly. Basically, your sanctuary can no longer be in your head, okay? Your sanctuary can no longer be in this cave. Your sanctuary can no longer be your dreams or your journal, okay? It's time for you to put yourself out there. It's time for you to do more than just hope and dream and wishful thinking, okay? It's time for you to almost like get out of your sanctuary and your safe place and your personal space and go into an expressive space and go into like a group setting and just have your boundaries ready to go, but don't close yourself off. This is actually similar to pile 2. Okay, pile 2 is also needing to work on their boundaries. And this is a similar situation. You don't have to shut yourself down completely. You don't have to live a lie or live a secret life. Instead, just come out the cave and express yourself. And when people are trying to be disrespectful or, getting too involved in your business, is when you need to just put that boundary up like, hey, mind your business. This has nothing to do with you. This is my choice and my life, and I'm going to live it as I see fit. Let's keep going. Where are we going? Right here. Okay. For those of you who chose, pile 3, Black Obsidian, what does the Spirit want you to know? For those of you who chose Black Obsidian, what does Spirit want you to know? Oh, that was fast. Okay. Okay, what does Spirit want you to know? We have see your seeds grow, trust in the unknown, see from a higher perspective, and stand your ground. Excuse me. Okay, stand your ground. You're going to come out. You're going to tell your truth. You're going to be like, hey, Grandma Rosa, I know you and everybody over here think gay people are bad, but you know what? I am gay. Stand your ground. Or for some of you, I know the grandma subject's touchy. You're like, oh my God, girl, are you tripping? I don't want to throw my grandma into, a early grave or something like that, you know, you measure that accordingly. Because, for example, my great grandparents are Jehovah's Witnesses, and did I vocalize to them that I am gay? No, no, no. I told my immediate circle, my family, my mama, my daddy, you know what I mean? So you take that as you see fit, but definitely stand your ground when you say it. Don't let them be like, oh, guess we need more church, guess we need more this, guess we need more that. No, you stand your ground. No, I know who I am. This is not a phase. This is not something I'm going to outgrow. This is my preference. This is my livelihood, and this is my essence. I didn't choose this. This is who I am. You know, stand your ground, fight for what you know to be right, you know, and put those boundaries where necessary. See, from a higher perspective, you're kind of like, oh my God, Allie, I'm about to be in all this family turmoil. You're trying to have me dig up things that don't need to be dig up. See, from a higher perspective, after this happens, sure, in the moment you may have some turmoil, but a week later you're going to feel so at peace and so free that you don't have to carry and harbor this secret anymore, okay? So think about the things that you're going to gain, not just the things you may lose. That's fear, okay? Trust in the unknown. You don't know how this situation is going to unfold. I don't even know how this situation is going to unfold. But I could do a private reading and find out for you. You know what I mean? Let me know. But trust in the unknown. Trust that trust your path, okay? Trust that even though you can't see what's out there, or even though you can't find support, trust that it's going to be there. Trust that when you need it, your spirits are going to come through for you. And this says spring, see your seeds grow. What I get from this is see your seeds grow. You're going to tell one person your truth, and you're going to come out of this cave, and then you're going to find it that after you told that one person, it made it easier to tell another person and another person. And you're going to see your seeds grow in the sense that it got easier for you. So not everyone obviously has that gay thing, but say, you know, for that person who wants to be an artist, and maybe because you had such a sciencey family, you're scared to let anyone even see your sketches, you know, because it's something you were never supported for. But you told that one person, like, hey, I like to draw. And they were like, oh, can I see something? And then you showed them something. And then they told their friend. And then you posted something on Instagram. And then you slowly have like a little collective portfolio growing, you know what I mean? And then you can see your seeds grow. You're like, oh my God, there was a point when I told nobody about this secret, and now so many people know. And not only do they know, they're supporting me, and I have an Instagram page, and I'm getting commission work and blah blah blah, you know what I mean? You don't know what can come. You don't know what's happening in the unknown. You just got to sit back and appreciate your truth, your expression. Let these people support you. Let your dreams fuel you. Yeah. Oh my God, they're so annoyingly loud. I'm so sorry. Okay. What else? For those of you who chose pile 3, what does Spirit want you to know? For those who chose pile 3, what does Spirit want you to know? Those who chose, okay. Okay, we have flow. Harmonizes, aids, benefits, energizes, enjoys, supports. Okay, that support word is right there. Go with the flow of things. If you have a dream and it's pulling you to tell your parents or tell your favorite cousin or just tell somebody your truth, go with that flow. Okay, go with that dream. Don't let the fear of the unknown or the fear of no support hold you back. Okay, stand your ground, support yourself. Indulge in your truth, okay? Enjoy your life. You deserve it. Go with the flow of things. Let things flow naturally. Hey, Mom, I gotta tell you something. Hey, babe, what's up? Oh, I don't know how you'll feel about it. Oh, well, you know, I love you anyway, babe. Just tell me, okay? What I really want to be in life is an entrepreneur. I don't want to go to college. Oh, baby, I'm nervous for you. I'm nervous too, Mama. I didn't say I wasn't. I don't know what's going to happen in the unknown, but I really just need your support from me right now. Oh, baby, but stand your ground. But no, Mom, I really don't think this is for me. Da 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 da. And you can figure it out. How the conversation will flow from there. So for those of you who chose pile 3, Black Obsidian, can we get some advice for those of you who chose pile 3? Some advice for the Black Obsidian pile. They have major truths coming out. They need advice. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have Self-care allows me to fully give to others without expectation. Okay, what I get from this card right away is that if you support yourself, if you follow your own dreams, if you sometimes, go into that sanctuary you need, and you just really make sure you care for yourself. You put your support of yourself. It'll help you fully give to others. So, for example, if you find enough love and support in yourself, it won't you won't feel like you have to bend to the will of your family's expectations. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that familial love can replace self-love or vice versa. And I'm not saying that self-love is easy and family love is hard. I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm just saying that if you fill yourself up enough, you won't look to other people for that fill, because you'll have it. So you won't have to exchange love for obedience or anything like that, because you will be full enough that you can give to others without expectations. You won't have to do certain things that your family wants you to do because you think by doing those things in return you'll get their love or their approval or their acceptance, because it often doesn't go like that. And we also have, I trust the wisdom of my I trust the wisdom of my body. Healing is my natural state, which actually goes back to the beginning of right here where it says ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. There's a lot of things you have to heal from. For those people who are into spirituality and the family's into religion, or you're gay and your family's into religion, or, whatever kind of opposites are kind of at each other's head right now, those kind of opposite forces that are going against each other, you need to heal from. Because being raised in that kind of situation where now growing up and maybe you're a witchy person, but you grew up religious, can be a hard, what's the word I'm looking for? Can be something that's very hard to come face to face with, because you were raised, taught one way, to now have a different mindset and to think a different way. You could have like contradictory experiences going on in your mind, if that makes sense. So definitely just take that time to heal so that you don't have anything that you are regretting later, I think is the word I'm looking for. Oh, and I forgot a card actually. So we'll do one more card for you. Pile 3. For those who chose pile 3, Black Obsidian, what does Spirit want them to know? Blame. Okay. Exactly. They want you to heal from that, from that upbringing or from that mentality or ideology or lineage or tradition or anything like that, so that you don't have blame later. I accept responsibility for my well-being. You know what I mean? You don't want to get to the point where you're like, oh my God, all of this was my family's fault, and you're just putting all this blame on them. You need to accept the responsibility that you had the chance to change. You had the chance to rewrite, and you did or didn't take it, because the blame isn't on anybody except yourself if you do not choose to live your life in the most fulfilling way possible. Okay, so this is what I have. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below and let me know if anything resonated with you. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And if it did not fit, it was not shit. And therefore, you do have 2 options. You can, 1, of course, feel free to pick another pile, or 2, feel free to DM me for a private reading. And I'll have all that information listed down below in the description bar. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! So, for those of you who chose green quartz, what does Spirit want you to know? And if you can hear my brother and his crappy little friend, I'm so sorry. Ugh. What does Spirit want you to know? Okay. So, green quartz, pile 4. What does Spirit want you to know? It says, the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Align your life. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, right off the bat, I feel like there's a lot of transformation going around right now. There's a lot of growth happening, You are going through, even for some of you, you're going through like a dark night of a soul, doing shadow work and things of that nature. You're trying to leave behind what no longer serves you, leave behind, upbringings or mentalities or things that don't really fit with who you are now as a person. And this transition is very hard. And you're like, oh my God, why is all of this happening to me? But it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Because if these things that make you tick never happened, you would have never had this transformation that you're about to go through, if that makes sense. For some of you, I feel as though you are like non-binary, or you have been contemplating like transitioning. Not that you will or won't transition, that's completely your business, and that's something that's not part of a group reading. Just the vibe I'm getting is that there's something like that you've been contemplating in depth, contemplating something like if you can hear my brother, I'm so sorry. Something you were like really rewriting what's no longer in alignment with who you truly are. So I feel like, and when I say transitioning, some of you, I know you guys got nervous. It could even be like you were born a girl and now you don't feel like either gender. So you're not transitioning necessarily into a boy. You're just transitioning into a different version of yourself that maybe doesn't follow social norms, or there's so many options. Let's just keep going because the possibilities are literally endless of what this could mean. But basically, you're just going through a really, really major transformation. A much needed transformation that's going to feel painful, but it's so necessary. One of those things that like seem like a horrible mess, but that when you look back at it, you're like, oh my God, if I didn't go through that now, who knows what kind of person I would have been in the long run. So yeah, let's see. Pile 4. What does Spirit want you to know? Yeah, that makes sense. What does Spirit want you to know? Pile 4. Okay. Yep, this makes complete sense. Okay, so we have beauty, grace, loveliness, integrity of form and spirit, song of the siren, the call, summoning, voice to acknowledge, and Atlantis, rapid development, excellent success. Okay, so what I'm getting is that exactly the call. Something is calling you, something is pulling you. There's a voice acknowledging you to change what is no longer in alignment with who you truly are. So you have been urged, intuition, your dream, something is telling you it's time for a change, time for new, it's time for a revamp. For some of you, actually, you could be in a relationship already. When it says releasing contracts, I'm getting like marriage. Like some of you are being called towards a divorce, what is no longer in alignment with who you truly are. This marriage, or at least the way you are presented in the marriage, depicted in the marriage, the way you interact within the marriage, something has been calling you to walk away, revamp, go on a honeymoon, get a divorce, something like that. Then when we get these cards, we have Atlantis, rapid development, excellent success. So I feel like whatever you are being called to do, whether it's the voice, whether it's transitioning, whether it is dropping everything, quitting your job, moving away to the other side of the world, anything like that, you're going to find success in it, and it's going to happen very quickly. As soon as you choose to answer the call, things are going to start becoming, going into motion. So it's happening for you, not to you. For the people who are going to drop everything and move away, and you're like, wait, that sounds like a blessing. Well, think about it. Say you just broke up with your boyfriend and your job's not going anywhere. You didn't get that promotion you want, everything like that. In the moment, it feels like you're running away from your problems, and you're like, wait, I can't be around these things. Why is all these things happening to me? And now I gotta leave my life and move to the other side of the world because that's the only place I can get a job. That's freaking crap. I can't believe that. But then you finally pick up the call, you email them back, you're like, you know what, I will take the job. Then you have all this rapid development. You quickly find a new place. You quickly find a new gig. In a couple months, you find a new person. You find a pet. You find things that are fulfilling, things that'll bring you success. And then with this integrity of form of spirit, beauty, what you need to know is that even though there's a part of you that's leaving, even though there's a part of you that's letting go, you still have your form, you still have your spirit, your soul is still the same, whether your outer shell looks like this or not. So you can look outside of yourself, and maybe you're not at your birth town anymore. You're not the same job you thought you would be or anything like that, but you still have your integrity of spirit. It's still the same soul that lives beyond your like skin vessel, you know what I mean? So you still need to remember the beauty in everything. It's happening for you, not to you. The ever unfolding rose, a rose is beautiful. So you're going through these hard times and it feels like, you won't find an up, or you can't see the light in the moment because it's just a lot of stuff going on. But you have to remember, you're still a beautiful human being. The person that's going to bring you through all of this rain and see the rainbow is still going to be you. The person who got you in the mess is the same person that's going to rescue you and get you out, which is yourself. So the people who do want to transition, I feel for some of you, you're like, oh my God, what if I transition and, I'm uglier, or this, or I'm different, or, anything of the case. You can, not saying it's the same at all, but I'm saying you can cut off you can have long, beautiful hair like any of these people in these pictures, okay? And then you cut it all off and you're bald and you're like, oh my God, I look ugly. I look horrible. Why would I do that to myself? Blah, 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 blah. But you're going to find success as soon as you remember that you are you. You have the integrity of your spirit. Your spirit doesn't change. It doesn't, leave or mend or break. Yeah, sure, it grows. You're always connected to your higher self, though, which is always still a part of you. Your soul, it gets recycled, with past lives and things like that. But it doesn't break. It doesn't end. It's everlasting. So it's just your turn. It's your time to answer this call and to find the success and to appreciate your beauty and who you are. Again, with the divorce thing, you get a call to, have a divorce, and then you feel this rapid development. You feel success. You feel that kick of spirit that you needed again, that kind of revamp that you didn't have when you were in this marriage. And you kind of are like, oh my God, I'm a failure. I'm now a divorcee. Like, how can I have gotten to this point? And what are people going to think of me? And blah, blah, blah. But it's not about anything. It's not about anybody else. It's about you, okay? You will still have that beauty in yourself. The same beauty that was there, that someone recognized you when you got married, is the same beauty that's still there even after you got divorced, okay? We're not the things that happen to us. We're not the things that we outgrow. We're not our past lives. We're not who we were. We are who we are. And you need to do everything in your power to make sure your life and your livelihood reflects who you are today and not who you were or who you used to be. Whew. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh. Okay. So for those of you who chose pile 4, the green quartz, they don't want me to do that pile just yet. Okay. So for those who chose green quartz, pile 4, what does Spirit want you to know? So for those who chose pile 4, green quartz, what does Spirit want you to know? Okay, thanks. What does Spirit want you to know? I'll take this one. Oop, and this one. And I didn't know that one wanted to come, but we will take it too. Okay. So we have trust your talents in changing times, embrace the energy of peace, release the old and rest, and let yourself be loved. Perfect. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Trust your talents in changing times. These things are changing. This stuff that's happening for you, for your growth. Okay. Think about it. An egg, a little baby egg is all like, oh my God, I'm living great. I'm an egg, blah, blah, blah. But the egg has to be cracked open to really utilize, and like reach its potential. You know what I mean? If the little pulp, what is it called? If the yolk stayed in the egg forever, 1, the baby chick would never hatch. And 2, if the egg was already dead, boom, if we never crack it, we can't have no eggs or no scrambled eggs or cakes or, whatever, that kind of thing. So trust your talents in changing times. Things are changing for you, but your essence, your beauty is still who you are. Your talents, your gifts are still there. So you need to know that you have your back, even though things are being different. You may be thrown out of your comfort zone and things don't look how they're used to seeing, your surroundings are unfamiliar. However, your essence, who you are, your person, your mindset, that feeling it's still you, okay? So trust yourself, even though things around you are completely different, because you are going to find this success and this development. Then with embrace the energy of peace, okay? Things are changing, but they're changing for your better. So you're like, oh my God, I can't leave this divorce. What would people think? Blah, blah, blah. Why is this happening to me? But it's happening for you because you haven't been happy in your marriage for a very long time. And if you embrace the energy of peace, you know, if you allow this to crumble, if you allow things to change, that's when you're going to find this peace, because you didn't have it when you were doing what you were doing. And you need to, again, align your life. So if this isn't in alignment with who you truly are, be in alignment with that which will bring you peace. And then we also have release the old and rest. So this process of releasing the old, of getting rid of what's no longer in alignment with you, of unbinding, of releasing, again, releasing soul patterns, past lives. You are throwing out the old. You're almost resetting. You're kind of taking inventory, and you're like, happiness, oh wait, that's not check. Peace, oh wait, I don't have that either. Freedom, oh my gosh, what kind of list is this? What do I even have on this list? Money, ooh, like that's not worth all of this that I'm missing out on. So it's release the old and rest. Okay, this process is going to be a lot. It's not an overnight thing. Okay, even though there will be rapid development and excellence and success, you still need to have your wits about you, so to speak. Don't run ragged. Don't, go through all this in one night. Dark Night of the Soul is not a one-day event. It's a long process. Love and let yourself be loved. Love yourself enough to allow yourself to change and let yourself be loved. There's going to be other people who see you after this transition and are still going to see this beauty that you may have lost sight of at one point, okay? People are going to see you not as a divorcee, not as a transition person, not as something. They're not going to see you anything other than who you truly are. They are going to see you for who you are. And even if you feel like you don't believe that it's there, or you feel like there's ulterior motives or anything like that, just allow yourself to be loved and love yourself in the process. Hey, babe, we've been through so much together, and I know you're calling for me to be something different, and it's actually very scary for me, but I love you enough to see what the other side looks like. So I'm going to go there with you. You know what I mean? Or think about it. Okay. Say, for example, you always had really short, like shoulder length hair. And one time you get a wig and your wig's all the way down to your butt, and now you can like swoosh your hair around and you're super excited. And you meet a stranger off the bus and they're like, oh my God, I think you're beautiful. And in your head, you think they're lying, like, oh my God, they could tell I have a wig on. It looks so fake. This color doesn't match my complexion, anything like that. But they don't know what you're supposed to look like, because there is no supposed to be, okay? You could have blonde hair today, you could have no hair tomorrow, and at the end of the day, it's still you. It's how you choose to express yourself. It's how you choose to live life, okay? So no one can tell you, oh, you're doing it wrong. Oh, that's not how it's supposed to be, because there is no supposed to be. There's no instruction manual. So allow yourself to be loved and love yourself enough to change, okay? Let's see. Now we can get this pile because Spirit is finally ready for it. Spirit, what does pile 4 need to know? What did you want pile 4 to know? Okay. I know that gratitude card wanted to come out. What does pile 4 want you to know? What does pile 4? I mean, what do you want, Spirit? What do you want pile 4 to know? Spirit, what do you want pile 4 to know? Ooh, sorry. Okay, thank you. So we have love, honesty, and gratitude. Okay, love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. See the good in yourself. Love came up twice. Okay, let yourself be loved. This is going to be a transformation that, even though you don't necessarily completely know what's happening to you or why it's happening to you, and even though you feel like it's happening to you and not for you, okay, still be committed to seeing love in all things. You love yourself enough for being in this situation. You love yourself enough for seeing that you want more and honoring that, okay? Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Be honest with yourself. Who or what is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? What do you need to release from the past? What do you need to unbind yourself from, okay? Only you can be honest. Only you know what your heartstrings are pulling you and where you need to be and where you need to go. And you need to be honest with yourself about what you want, and you need to be honest about the people that you affect in your life. If you don't want to be in that marriage, you have to be honest to your husband or to your wife or to whomever, and allow them to be on the same page with you, okay? Trust yourself, support yourself, and gratitude. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Even though you're no longer where you want to be in life, you need to be thankful for everything that led you up to those moments. Because if you never had those moments, you would have never realized that something needed to be changed. If you never had the childhood you had, if you never had the past life you had, if you never had that contract, that situation, you would have never realized that something needed to be different. It's our past that shapes us, okay? But it's our future that makes us. And it's your choice to let yourself be loved. And it's your choice to find this peace and to release this old and to go towards the things that are filling you up with love. So, this card and then some advice, and then I will bid you adieu. So let's see. For those who chose pile green quartz, okay, thank you. We have revolution, a breakthrough, originality, insight, awakening, freedom, the unexpected, experimentation. Yeah, exactly. You're having a revolution in your soul, okay? There's something telling you to break through, something telling you to go towards the unexpected, go towards freedom, okay? You need that surprise in life. And for some of you, this moment, like maybe you didn't decide, because at this point spirit is just like kicking you in the butt and they're just pushing you, and they're like, you're like, wait, I don't want to go, and they're like, pushing you out anyway, and they're like, no, this is your time, and you're like, why is this happening for me? And it's why is this happening to me? And it's actually happening for you, okay? If you were scared to take the leap, then spirit definitely kicked you in the butt. Like, you had all the time in the world to get up and you didn't, so now I'm forcing you to get up. Think about it like this. Your mom's like, hey, get out of bed. It's time for school. And you keep snoozing your alarm, and, you don't really have that discipline to get up out of bed because you just want to sleep a little bit longer. You're like, I just want to live in dreamland for like a little bit longer. And then your mom comes with a bucket of water and throws it on you, and you're like, why would you do this to me? And she's like, I didn't do this to you, I did this for you, because if I let you sleep any longer, you were going to miss the bus. You know what I mean? So the wake up call may seem like a lot, but you love school, so it was a blessing in disguise. That kind of vibe. So advice for pile 4, green quartz. What advice do we have for pile 4? They're going through a lot, okay? They have a whole revolution to get through. Can we get one more, please? Pile green quartz. They need advice. Come on, spirit. What you got for them? Okay. Thank you. We have, I don't need to have all the answers. My heart knows the way. So you don't know why this is happening to you. All you know is that something is pulling you to change. And even though you don't know why, you know that peace and love are your compass, okay? And if they're pointing you in this direction, even if you don't know why, that's the way you need to go. A release again, okay? Where is it? Right here. Release. That's 3 releases at this point, okay? I release attachment to the outcome and choose to enjoy the journey. Some of you are like, oh my God, I can't be a divorcee. Who's going to want me after that? I can't transition. Who's going to want me after that? I can't follow, I can't rewrite my past. Who would want me after I change so drastically? If the people who you think are going to leave you do, they were never meant for you in the first place. They were friends with your old self. You are turning into your new self. You are evolving. You're like Phoenix from the ashes, rising up again, okay? I release attachment to the outcome and choose to enjoy the journey. None of us know the outcome. We don't know what's going to happen at the other side of any action we do. We just have our hopes and we have our fears. And even though we don't know what's going to come out of it, we still need to choose to enjoy the journey. We still need to choose to take those steps and to live life Think about it. When you married this person, you didn't know the outcome. You didn't know it would or wouldn't last forever. You just picked them and you're like, hey, I want to enjoy this journey with you. So even if they're not in the picture anymore, you still need to love yourself enough to have the opportunity to have someone else love you in the future. You need to love yourself now enough to choose a new journey. I forgive myself for being so hard on myself, for all that pressure. I am more than enough. You have putting so much pressure on yourself, Pile 4, because of this. Because there's something no longer in alignment with who you truly are. And instead of choosing your true self, you've been putting this pressure on yourself to be what other people want you to be. But you are more than enough in yourself. You're more than enough in who you are. And all you need to do is allow yourself to be free and allow yourself to be peace and allow yourself this honesty and this love and this gratitude. Thank those friends for being in your life. Thank that husband that you don't want no longer in your life for being there in the first place. Thank you for having the life that you've lived. You know what I mean? But if it no longer serves you, that's okay too. Think about it like this. You've lived with your parents all your life and you think you can't move away from them because they're going to miss you. But your time has come. There's things you need to learn on your own that you couldn't learn under your parents' roof any longer. So it's time for you to go. Situation similar to that. But anyway, this is what I have for you, Pile Green Quartz. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below if anything resonated with you. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, which means if it didn't fit, it ain't shit. And therefore you do have two options. One, of course, feel free to choose another pile, or two, feel free to DM me for a private reading, and I'll have all that information listed down below in the description bar. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! What does Spirit want you to know, Garnet? Pile 5. What does Spirit want you to know? Yes, whatever you're thinking about, do it. What does... Okay, thank you. Ooh. Okay. What does Spirit want you to know? First, they said yes, just say yes. Pleiades, double mission, channeling, and uplifting humanity, and starseed, what lights you up. Okay, so what I get from these cards, just say yes. I feel like you've been a little hesitant about something. Now is the time, now is the opportunity, now is the job. Just say yes, especially if it coincides with things that light you up, things that make you happy. Now is your time to point your compass towards happiness, okay? So just say yes to things that make you happy. Maybe you just met someone and you're like, oh my God, we've only been dating a little bit of time and I don't want people to think we're moving too fast and blah, blah, blah. If this person lights you up, if this person makes you feel happy, just say yes. Because even if the happiness is temporary, at least we were able to enjoy it in the time that we had it. It's better to do something you'll regret than not do anything at all. I don't know if that quote goes like that, but something like that. And then with this double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity, what I get from this is that you're a very happy person and you like helping others. There may be a thin line for you between people taking advantage of you and you doing good things for others, but that shouldn't... the possibility of problems shouldn't prevent you from doing things you're passionate about. So if something lights you up, like helping others, you know what I mean? Don't let the possibility of someone taking advantage of you taint that for everybody. You should still do what you're good at because kindness is actually very rare. So if you're willing to spread it, sprinkle it freely. So for those of you who chose pile 5, Garnet, what does Spirit want you to know? Okay, for those of you who chose Garnet, what does Spirit want you to know? Thank you. Okay, we have Brahma, Wander Voyage, Crossing Deep Waters, Pilgrimage, Journey of the Soul. We have the Return of Aphrodite, Temple, Birth of the Goddess, Guidance, Goddess Energy, Treating as Sacred, and we have Adrift, Letting Go, Allowing a Higher Force to Take Charge for a Time. Okay. What I'm getting from this is that what lights you up, just say yes. Okay, so there's something that lights you up. And something you should say yes to. And it's kind of out of the blue. Maybe it's like Doctors Without Borders, tutoring kids in like Africa or something, something like that's super far fetched, but the thought of it lights you up. You're like, oh my God, to be able to educate somebody who doesn't have access to the research we have, it just really lights me up. Or being able to help these people who don't have, again, access to what we have. Doctors Without Borders is what I thought of. Things like that. So there's something that's going to take you on a voyage, crossing deep waters, a pilgrimage, and it's going to help you grow as a person, journey of the soul. So it's something far away. Maybe it's like moving to Australia, or moving across the country, or I don't even like, I can't really know right now, okay? But it is involving helping people, and it's something that lights you up. So it's either like education, you want to be a teacher, doctor, you want to help other people, environmental scientist, you and a bunch of people are going to the rainforest to help people stop littering. I don't know. But it's going to be something you treat as sacred, you know what I mean? Something that is like an opportunity you've been waiting for, or the way you interact with it is not like other people do, because you treat it as so holy. Like for some of you, it could even be counseling. So you're going somewhere far away to counsel people, to help uplift them, and you treat it as sacred in the sense that you're like, oh my God, the fact that people are so open and honest with me and willing to share their truths with me, that's major, and you're treating each individual interaction as something sacred that's helping you, guide you towards your ultimate journey. You know what I mean? And then with letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. What I get from this is you're letting go of the monotony, okay? You're letting go of the normal. You're letting go of doing what everyone does, because it says what lights you up. So it's what you're passionate about. And you're letting go of those fears, and you're allowing intuition, and you're allowing your spirit guides to step forth and be like, yes, this is meant for you, and you can help other people with your passions. And yes, this is not the time for fear to get the best of you. Now is your time to let go of all those worries and all those distractions, and you just focus on your truth and just trust your intuition, and know that you'll be supported by your angel guides, even though this seems like such a far-fetched situation, you know what I mean? But you're gonna come out so renewed after this. Like, the guidance you find in this experience is going to be life-changing, which is why you have to say yes when it presents itself. Okay, let's see. For those of you who chose pile 5, what does Spirit want you to know? For those of you who chose pile 5. Oh, I did want 3 cards. Interesting. Okay. We have take charge with authority. We have be fearless and strong, and take note of intuitive messages. Didn't I just say that? Okay. I get hyped when things line up. Okay. Take note of intuitive messages. Exactly what I said. A higher voice to take charge for a time, So these intuitive messages, intuition, your spirit guides, your dreams, all of these are pushing you and pointing you towards helping people, towards your passion, okay? So whenever that pops up, take note. So when your fear does crinkle in, you're like, hey, actually, I got this, I trust them to take reins and to lead me in the directions that I need to go. Lord, take charge with authority. Like I said, when this situation presents itself, just say yes. Take charge, This lights you up. This is going to change you for all the better. This is going to reignite your passions in life and wanting to help other people on a greater level. So when the situation comes, make sure you take charge of it, okay? Like, not just I think I can go. Yes, I want to go, and I can't wait to make a difference. And I'm so happy that you chose me. Out of all the millions of people you could have chose, you chose me to help you do this thing. Okay. And then we also have a warrior, be fearless and stand strong. So I feel like you're going to have people swaying you. You're definitely going to have people trying to, steer you away from your passion, okay? This thing that lights you up. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, Roseanne, that sounds so far-fetched. How can you just drop everything and move across the country? That makes no sense. And you're like, well, I'm really passionate about it and I get the chance to help other people and I'm really excited about it. And they're like, I don't think so, but you don't know anybody in that country, but you've never done this before, but da-da-da. You need to let go of all those people, all those naysayers, all of their advice. You need to be fearless and stand strong. You need to be like, hey, I appreciate the advice, but I got this. At the end of the day, it's my life and I'm going to do what I want to do. And what I want to do is this, because this is really calling out to me. And this is something I really have a passion for. And I don't want to live life wondering what if. I want to say yes. And if it doesn't work out, at least I tried, okay? Take charge of your life. Stand strong in your beliefs. Be fearless in the sense that you're like, hey, I have the same fears you do. I know it's kind of scary to, try something completely new, but I know my guides have my back, and I know I'm not alone in this, so I'm going to take the chance. Yes, what else? For those who chose pile 5, what does Spirit want them to know? For those who chose pile 5, what does Spirit want them to know? That's way too many cards. For those who chose pile 5, what does Spirit want you to know? Thank you. Trust. Exactly. Didn't I just say that? I trust my spirit, guys. I trust Spirit. I trust my intuition that they're leading me to where I need to go. You're allowing a higher force to take charge for a time because you trust them. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Yeah, because this is pulling you towards yes. You've been dying to say yes. You've actually been like flipping coins and you've been hoping and finger crossing that you just get a sign or something. This is your sign. Trust me, who is delivering the message from your guide to say yes. Trust this yes. Trust your passion. Trust your ability to help others, whether through doctoring, counseling, uplifting, just sitting at the bus stop and listening to someone talk. Just you're going to do so much for the world. Like, I'm so ecstatic. So freaking happy for you. Okay. What does Spirit want pile 5 to know? If Sagittarius pops out or Jupiter pops out, pack your bags right now. Buy your plane ticket right now. Call that person back that you were like, well, I don't know. I'll give you a couple days. Give me a couple days to answer. And you tell them that your answer is yes. Okay. Or empowerment. No. Okay. Anyway. Yep. That makes sense. I've only gotten one card for every group, so I'm going to just keep to the one. And we have opportunity. Collaborate, provides opportunity, synergizes, opens doors for, communicates, welcomes, develops. Exactly. You have an opportunity presented to you or about to present itself to you where it's like, hey, somebody told me that you'd be perfect for this job or that you'd be willing to do this or do that. The opportunity is coming. And when it comes, take charge with authority and not, I'll see if I can get out of it. Like, no, thank you for this opportunity. I welcome it with open arms. I am going to take everything I can and say yes. Let me actually work on things right now and I'll get back to you. Like, someone calls you and they're like, hey, I have a flight out for Monday. Are you coming? Yes, I am coming because this lights me up so much and something has been calling me and telling me to travel and this is it. And I trust. That's it. I trust. Okay. And advice. Okay. I think this is probably the happiest pile with the least amount of work, if that makes sense. Like the other piles, they have to really, heal and do these things and break chains and blah, blah, blah. And you kind of already have everything lined up. The only thing you need to choose is yourself. Choose yes. Say yes to your passions. Okay, let's keep going. Advice for pile 5. For those of you who chose Garnet. Advice for pile 5. Thank you. Can we get at least one more? Advice. Thank you. Okay. It says, I am my own healer. And I am deeply grounded, yet flow with the winds of change. Okay. Yeah. So it's not Okay, some of you are like, oh my God, of course I'm gonna just pick up and leave and go through this job. It's easy to like run away and blah, blah, blah. But you're not that person who you were in the past who would run away from things, okay? You are not leaving drama or like a situation behind, okay? Because you're very grounded in this decision. This is something you've been wanting to do. It's something you would know you would excel at and be good at and find happiness within, okay? So you're very grounded in who you are as a person. You know what you want out of life. So you flow with the winds of change, that even though you may not know how you're going to get there, you know, um, you know who you are on the inside, okay? So basically, like, say what lights you up. What lights you up is education, okay? You're deeply grounded in the sense that you want to do education, you want to teach other people, but you flow with the winds of change in the sense that you're not like, oh, I'm only going to teach the fifth grade. You're going to teach anyone who comes to you looking for guidance or for help, or if you have the knowledge, you're going to share it. You know what I mean? So you're more worried about the journey instead of the destination. And then when it comes to I am my own healer, that's so funny because I just said how this pile wasn't like the other piles. But when I see this, I am my own healer, I'm getting as though maybe in the past you had situations where you didn't choose yourself, you didn't choose your passions, you didn't say yes. And that kind of little voice of doubt or that familiarity of like, oh, this time is going to be like the same, is something you need to heal from. You're not that person you used to be. You're not in that situation you used to be. Now you're filled with trust. Now you're filled with passion. Now you know what you need out of life. You know what you're looking for, and you're aware of these opportunities. So you're healing yourself from the past in the sense that you are not who you were. So maybe you missed out on an opportunity and it's kind of like fogging your judgment this time. You're like, well, I messed up before, I'm going to mess up again. But don't allow your past to influence your future, okay? You weren't who you used to be. That's why those opportunities didn't present themselves when they did. You weren't ready for them. But now is your time to say yes. Now you are ready for all it has to offer. So this is what I have for you. Pile 5. Those of you who chose Garnet, okay? If anything resonated with you, please comment down below and let me know. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. If it didn't fit, remember it's not shit. This is a general reading, but if you would like something more private, I do have all my information listed down below in the description bar. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Last but not least, Pile Rock Quartz. Okay, this is what I have for you. What does Spirit want you to know? Okay. What does Spirit want you to know? Okay. We have Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. Protection. Call back your power. Cut the cord. Soul retrieval. And get grounded. Empaths. Highly sensitives. Connect with nature. Okay, yeah, you could definitely be an empath, a light worker, an oracle. You kind of already are very in tune with your intuition. However, you do have sometimes you are letting your power go a little bit. That could be with, I'm getting it, it's mostly with like upbringings, surroundings, things that have like attached to you based on like your interactions with others. You feel as though because it mostly has been true, it's always true. Um, for example, if everyone is like, oh, guys are superior, they're the breadwinners of the family, and then everyone in your town and everyone in your family also believe that ideology, but then you finally meet someone else and they're like, wait, I don't agree with that. You have to call your power back from that situation, from those instances where you interacted with people who necessarily didn't give you the best advice or the best outlook. Now is your chance to rewrite or kind of sever those ties to the things that don't fit who you are. And then with the get grounded card, connect with nature. This getting grounded, connecting with nature, basking in the sunlight, taking a drive, all of those kinds of things, sniffing the flowers, are going to help you just kind of get connected with what is truth, or what is your truth. We'll keep going. I'll make sense, I promise. Okay, for pile 6, what does Spirit want you to know? Pile 6. Okay, pile 6. What does Spirit want you to know? Oh. What does Spirit want you to know? Okay. We have vulnerability. Open your heart. Allow yourself to be tender. And time and tide. Oceanic spells and rituals. I've never seen this card, number 18. So let's take a look. Okay, in our world and in yours, the rituals would be observed, and blah, 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 You humans wonder what secret acts you could do. You can sing and dance beneath the moon, on the shore, in the forest, by the lake, but you can also do the most sacred thing of all, a magical action at low tide. Before gathering any magical tools along the shore, you must be sure you have made an offering to the sea. We do not take before we give. Okay, cool. Okay, so basically what it's saying is that you are a more spiritual person. It says you're the oracle, you're the pillar of light, your vibration is rising. Being a high frequency person, you have many attachments to lower vibrational things that are still kind of like leeching onto you, and you need to let that go. So one way you can let that go is by getting grounded, connecting with nature, taking a drive, basking in the sun, all those kinds of things. So when we have oceanic spells and rituals, time and tide, and vulnerability, open your heart, allow yourself to be tender. What I'm getting from this is you should do like a burning bowl ritual, a childhood retrieval, look into your past lives, things like that. Definitely get a ritual going when it comes to connecting with your spiritual essence, so that it can help break the connection that you have to this past thing. So basically, you want to replace one thing with another thing. So if you are like cutting the cords and you're calling back your power, you need to fill. Okay, so basically, like, your energy and your power is used to being attached to something, and you're cutting that thing. So now it has to be attached to something else. So if it's attached to you and who you are, you need to kind of put it on display more. So, okay, some of you, I feel like you still don't get it. So, like, say you have a cup, and your cup has all this like mush and sludge and like old stuff and stuff you just let sit in there, right? And you took the cup and you dumped it out. So now it's a clean cup. A clean cup. But what's a cup used for? A cup is, you have to use it for its purpose, which is to fill, to hold something. So now you have to fill it with something new that will get rid of that sludge and mush and whatever, which is that new ritual, that new thing. So it all depends, honestly, what you were cutting your cords about. Say you had a mentality where you felt like your figure or your beauty was never enough. An old mindset that you finally cut your cords of. But now you need to have a new ritual in its place. You need to have affirmations when you look in the mirror, or you need to, do some exercise, and after it, you feel amazing. And you're like, oh my God, body, I love you. How could I ever hate you? You know what I mean? And you need to get grounded in the sense of knowing what to fill your cup up with now. With vulnerability, open your heart, allow yourself to be tender, reflecting in the past, or to this time where things weren't the best, the time where you needed to find protection, you needed to build your walls up and everything like that. Now is your time to be the opposite. Now is your time to be vulnerable. When your cup is bare and it has nothing before you fill it up, that bareness of the cup, that is vulnerability. That's opening your heart, because your heart, which is the cup, was filled with sludge and mush and grossness, okay? That was kind of your wall, was kind of your barrier, was kind of blocking you from the flow of things. So now that your heart is open, once you, cut these cords, that's your vulnerability. And when you're pouring something back in the cup, you're not putting sludge and mush and dirt back in it. You're filling it up with water or with light and with love. You know what I mean? Things of those nature. So that requires vulnerability. You need to allow yourself to be open and to be seen and to connect with nature again and to find your roots, so to speak, again. Let's see. What else do we have? For those, okay, this one doesn't want to be shuffled yet. For those of you who chose pile rock quartz, pile 6, okay. What does spirit want you to know? Pile 6. Perseverance. I know that I could do whatever I set my mind to. Exactly. You can change. You can get grounded. You can rewrite these notions that you needed protection against. You can persevere to do more. If you are the oracle, okay? Your vibration is rising. You are leveling up. You're having a more of a high frequency, and you can do it if you truly want to become more pure, more lighthearted, more grounded, more centered in your intuition, okay? Know that you can do it if you try. Find that new ritual. Maybe you wake up, you journal, you brush your teeth, you exercise. Maybe your ritual is to take 10 minutes to sit in the grass every day. Whatever it is, whatever you want to fix, want to rewrite, you have the power to do so. Okay, Spirit, what does pile 6 need to know? What do you need pile 6 to know? Spirit, what do you want to tell pile 6? Okay. We have move beyond ancestral patterns. Surround yourself with protective energy, dream, and journey. Okay. So this reminds me of this. Move beyond ancestral patterns, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So you're calling back your power from your past, from your people, from the people who raised you to believe a certain thing or think a certain way, okay? You are letting all that go because they taught you what was beneficial to their survival in their time period. However, time continues to move. So what may have worked for them then doesn't necessarily work for you now. So even though you may have followed their guidance and their rules as a kid, out of respect, it is now time for you to move past that. Take what works and throw away what didn't, and move forward to find your power again, because maybe you don't need as much protection as they did in the past. Maybe what you need now is peace or freedom. But we do also have surround yourself with protective energy. And then we have here protection, okay? So as you are getting grounded and you're throwing away this mush and you're becoming more vulnerable, you know what I mean? That opens your heart. That leaves you in, That leaves you in a moment of vulnerability. And even though you don't need to be scared of your own vulnerability, you do need to protect yourself from those outside people who may be looking to take advantage or what's the word I'm looking for? Okay, so basically you have that empty cup, right? And until your cup is filled back up with light and love and protection and all those kinds of things, you need kind of like a placeholder until you get that protection back, or until you get those boundaries up, or things like that. So definitely carry around some black obsidian. That would be like the utmost one, carry it in your pocket, or sleep with it under your pillow. For some of you, kind of having like a little mantra that could be part of your ritual, where you're like, spirit guides, please protect me as you so often do, guiding us in the utmost light, love, and abundance. That's what I say personally every time I set foot in my car, because Other drivers are dangerous. So just have that kind of ritual, kind of have that moment with your spirit guide where you're like, please protect me as I go through my transitions and my transformations, as I go through my upgrades, you know what I mean? Because you don't need any spiritual attacks or physical attacks or, anything like that. Plus, when we do have our heart open and we are more vulnerable, things seem to hurt more. So then if we had our walls up, if we were more, what we believe to be protected. So just make sure you have some kind of protection around you. And then with the dream and journey card, what I get from this is that your intuition, your spirit guides have definitely tried to contact you through your dreams and to help you assist with this next energetic upgrade, or this, retrieval that you're working through. So when it says dream and journey, I would start a dream journal or even a regular journal so you can just kind of help focus your conversation with spirit, help you remember certain lessons. Even like, hey, I tried to do this ritual today where I woke up and ate and then brushed my teeth and exercised, but I didn't like it because I can't exercise on a full stomach. So tomorrow I'll try something different. You know what I mean? Just so you can kind of really keep track of all that you are going through. Yeah. For those who chose pile 6, what does spirit want you to know? Craft. Okay. So we have 6th house, work details, health, well-being, diet, service, daily rituals, contribution, organization, purification, skills, apprenticeship, and method. So for some of you, you could be an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. This daily rituals, as well as this card saying rituals, definitely you want to build a better, I want to say like a communication portal, so to speak, between you and your guides. So definitely work on those daily rituals, those things that you really are in control of while you are working on calling back your power, because spirit will help you see that your power doesn't come from an outside source or something outside of you, or it's not from other people or how much they affirm you or believe in you or support you, which is all great. But those are just inspirations for your own power. You give it off. You radiate it, okay? You're like a self-recharging battery, okay? It doesn't come from anywhere else. This is just you choosing to have your power back. You choosing to believe that the influence of other people is you. Like, you allow their influence to seep into you. You allow these things to happen to you. So therefore, you hold the power. You are just kind of reminding yourself who's the boss, so to speak. And then last but not least, let's get advice for pile 6 and the rock quartz. Advice for pile 6. Thank you. Can I get one more, please? Thank you. Okay. We have, I'm willing to let go of old patterns. Exactly. These old patterns, you're calling your power back. It's not your mom's fault that this happened, or your grandma, right here, move being ancestral patterns. It's not because your grandma raised you to do this. You're letting go of all those old patterns. They don't have the power over you anymore. You have the power over yourself, okay? You are the one who chooses to follow their thought process or their advice or anything like that. It's your choice. So it's your power. And then we also have, it's loving for me to say no to things that don't resonate. If, what your parents want for you, if what other people want for you is not what you want for yourself, it's okay to say no. If it doesn't work for you anymore, if it doesn't align with who you are anymore. So just remember to be vulnerable. Definitely carry a crystal around for that protection. Work on those daily rituals to really get a daily interaction with spirit. Persevere, okay? Know that you can do this. Your connection maybe to spirit may not seem as loud as you want it or as specific or anything like that, but the more you learn to communicate with them, the more you learn their language, the more they'll learn how to interact with you, okay? So definitely allow your heart to be open, allow your third eye to be open, and get grounded with nature, because nature helps you reconnect with spirit, because spirit and nature go hand in hand, because they, as well as us, all come from the same like stardust, spiritual particles and whatnot. Yeah, so this is what I have for you. Pile 6, Rock Quartz. Thank you so much for watching. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, which means if it didn't fit, it ain't shit. And therefore, you do have 2 options. 1, of course, feel free to choose another pile, or 2, feel free to DM me for a private reading, and I'll have all that information listed down below in the description bar. Definitely give this video a thumbs up, comment down below if anything resonated with you, and I will see you next time. Bye!